Discover how conservative mastermind Leonard Leo plans to reshape America with billionaire backing, wielding courts, corporations, and culture as his weapon. Conservative operative Leonard Leo unveils a strategic plan for billionaires to shift America rightward through court battles, corporate influence, media reshaping, and education reform, aiming to create a free society leveraging Supreme Court dominance. Let's go, David.
First things first, and this is my opinion. I respect Mr. Leo. I respect his strategy. I respect his plan. I respect Leonard Leo in general. He has been the Supreme Court whisperer. He's been behind the appointments of the conservative judges that now make up the majority of the Supreme Court. He is a trusted advisor to Donald J. Trump, and he's very influential in conservative circles, particularly as, I believe, either co-chair or president of the Federalist Society.
He is the co-chair of the Federalist Society, the Conservative Lawyers Network, yes.
Right. And Democrats, liberals, we don't have a Leonard Leo. We need a Leonard Leo. We need organizations like Heritage Foundation. I know we have Americans for Progress. I get that. However, Leonard Leo, using his influence, using his own resources to create policy through his network, through the systems of government, is impressive. And I respect that. I respect that a great deal. And if liberals, Democrats, their allies don't get it together, the next generation is lost.
Well, look at Leo's dark, we call it dark money network. It received a historic like $1.6 billion infusion. Mm-hmm. You're talking very strategic plan. Like there's hey, we're going to start by having a mission statement, a very clear mission. This is our mission, and they have been succeeding. We need more. We need more organizations like this. So we go in from one, we go in from one conversation to another. Sometimes we're talking about, Democrats outraising Republicans. Well, they're outraising Republicans because there are dedicated dollars to such things as what Leonard Leo is doing. So Leonard Leo is not going to jump off of his strategic plan to throw money towards the actual election. So this is another reason you can point these things out. Money is being strategically spent on the Republican side. We have plans, and those plans are always dealt with through, people of his caliber. Whether you agree with what he's doing or whether you disagree, these are strategic moves that, are important. The Supreme Court has been a weapon of the liberals, and the fact that we had very moderate conservatives that
Mhm.
were on the court. It was simple to not be paying attention, to be complacent as the Democrats were. And then you get, you didn't expect a Donald Trump to beat Hillary Clinton. Hey, history's going to be. Listen, there were tears when Trump won. There were the same thing, with, you know, the same thing happens every time. You think you got it made, and then reality hits you. Look,
Yeah.
he told us what judges he was going to give us. He took them off these lists, right? There
Yep.
was no secret. If you want to say something, Donald Trump, when he said something, he kept his word the majority of the time, especially when it came to the court. And look, no matter what you say about it, a 6-3 majority, Democrats
Impressive.
screaming, hey, we may need to just change the law that's been in effect since 1863. Listen,
And,
we've had 9 justices for a long time, but you know what? We want to stack the court because all of a sudden we got caught with our pants down around our ankles and couldn't get up and out fast enough.
mhm.
Look, it happens, but um, I have to agree, David. I'm glad you bring this up. Even if it is for you to try to send a message to your liberal or progressive uh, team that they need to start being smarter um, with their money.
And you know something, Joel? I think that Democrats are doing what they're doing on purpose. I believe they enjoy being the foil to the conservative geniuses like Leonard Leo. And the more that things are challenged by the conservatives and eventually ruled in favor of the conservatives, the more the Democrats and liberals can say to their constituencies, look, they're coming after you. Look, it's a danger to democracy. Look, we're going in the direction of fascism. Send
Well,
us money. Send
you
us
guys,
money. Send us money. Send us money. And they promote these
but you do better.
crappy
You guys do
candidates.
better as victims. You guys do better as victims, right? I
Mm,
just like I have to agree. You guys play the victim card so well. Um, Point this out. Hey, now you're a victim of the Supreme Court. George Soros is no slouch, though. You have to admit, he left the hierarchy, right? He left the national stage to get right down into the weeds and say, look, best place to get reform is to go straight for this, to get the state. To get
State's
the
attorneys.
state's attorneys, and he turned his money into a specific target at a local level.
But Joel,
Those dollars have been well spent, but the only place they're effective is in highly liberal areas already.
right. And Joel, those are like short-term gains. We're talking about Leonard Leo
Lifetime appointment.
making, right, lifetime appointments. We're talking about putting in the work so that a generation is affected. Soros supporting a candidate like Monique Worrell, yes, progressive, different, approach towards crime fighting and so forth and so forth and so on. But that's for only 40 years. Then there's another election. Okay, you got to battle, more money. In just one cycle, we're talking about investments in policy changes that last a lifetime. And that's where the conservatives, like Leo, like Edward, his name will come to me, who was behind the affirmative action rulings.
Hmm.
It's geniuses like this that has the greater effect. And that's why the Democrats love playing the victim, love playing the foil to conservatives so they can keep asking for money, keep that fighting and fighting, while every moment of the way, our rights are being
Yeah, but
chipped away,
you're
chipped
you're
away.
you're feeling comfortable. You're feeling Democrats are feeling
Yeah,
comfortable because they're getting more. Um, they have more wealthy individuals backing, and not
but
we're not the we're not the
growth of
party
them.
we're not the party of the billionaire, but yet those one percenters that back you are Gates, and you got huge money with with uh, uh, with your with those donors out in California. So
Yeah, but
I mean,
it's not reaching, state parties like the state Democratic Party
and I
here.
understand, but that's what I'm saying. You're looking at your bigger donors that you hadn't had in the past. You have their influence with, you know, hey, look, Bill Gates decided that we needed to all be vaccinated with vaccines that benefited him. Look, hey, he made more money, so he gave you more money. So
Hmm.
look, they want to. You got people like Don
Lemon,
Lemon, what going
Don Lemon.
after, yeah, going at getting fired from CNN and now feeling like he can, be the big savior and go after uh, X. Hey, let's go
But
after let's
wasn't he
go after.
offered a job at X though?
He was listen. He interviewed. His interview you know was perfect because basically he knew that Elon was not going to was not going to change his tune. He's like, you're on X. You're allowed to say whatever you want to on X. So he got his ammunition so he could get back on CNN and all these news medias to say, look, he's spreading misinformation. No, he's basically not policing speech is what he's not doing. So that's a story for another day. But yeah, you got the look, David. It's I think the Democrats' fundraising is going into people that the party, and you have to have the right people. And I still don't think that the Democrats know how to choose the right leaders in these positions. I mean,
Well,
you should have more union bosses thinking about how they can increase voter turnout than they should be doing
well,
it, fighting some of these fights that they're into. So
now that unions, their power is slowly being chipped away. Due to a Roberts Court decision made, I believe, early in the 2010s. There's, you know, less money. I wouldn't say necessarily less money. However, unions are having it a little bit more difficult in using the money that they have or soliciting more money from um, their union members based on that court decision, which I cannot recall at this moment. It'll come back to me. And then you have efforts like here in Florida, with the exception of law enforcement and EMS, firefighter unions. Um, you have unions making it very, very difficult due to recent legislation and recertifying. And so there goes that opportunity for liberals to tap into resources. I get, again, Leo talked about the need for conservatives to build these pipelines of talent, of people who understand the Constitution, and that the private sector and civil society do matter, and that limited government is the approach. And he wants to bring in corporate America, the banks, world finance,
well, David, just
wait, to have more influence over our culture than our social life, and
and
get
think
folks
about
into
this.
the C suites and
I'm
boardrooms.
gonna interrupt because I'm gonna go a little further than where you're at. Because I'm gonna say, look, Leo, he talks about the need to reform the clergy also. So
Yeah, I was gonna
so
get to that.
So he's, this is one that he just started thinking about, and he's even bought. He's even, you know, he has a separate nonprofit entity called Sacred Spaces Foundation, which he used to purchase a Catholic church. Listen, billions of dollars. He earned them. He's raised them. He has them. He's using them smartly. So look, that's why I just wanted to interrupt because I wanted to take that part because this is not a man who just wants to change the American culture. He truly says that God made us to know him, to love him, and to serve him. And I think religious leaders need to center more on that and less on and that's the man we're dealing with. So he loves his he loves his God, he loves his country, and he's put his dollars where his mouth is.
There's no doubt about that. A man putting his dollars where his mouth is. He's making the investment, he's putting in the resources, the time, the energy, and he's in a very important position of making sure that these policies move forward.
Hey,
And
the only problem with this man is he lives in Maine. That's my zinger to Maine. So thank you.
again, you've got to respect Leonard Leo, his $1.6 billion dark money fund, Marble Freedom Trust. Just trying to institute a lot of legal and social change through philanthropy. That's his words.
Yep.
You gotta respect it. Again, liberals, where is our Leonard Leo? Because George Soros, he's retired now. His son is taking over. I don't think he has the vision like a Leonard Leo. But what do I know?
And the
I'm
Koch
just
brothers and the Koch brothers are no longer they're not Trumpers, so their funds are going in different directions. So
mhm,
yeah, you're gonna have to have raise new billionaires for these types of things.
yeah.
Again, so political innovation, David wanted to bring this up for one reason. I enjoyed it for another reason. And listen, you need to be tuning in to these shows so you know what's going on. And you need to like, you need to share, you need to subscribe, you need to just be part of the JN Washington Network. Our associates work hard for you to get you information. They work
Mhm.
hard to make sure that your comments are, addressed if we can't address them ourselves, but we try to address them straight on when you give them to us. Bring your bring your facts, not your feelings, as David always says. I'm glad to be here to answer your questions if you have them. You can ridicule me all you want to, but hey, I want facts, not feelings. Uh, we have several things. I have to promote my book. It just came out. It's Presidential Chronicles, and it's a look at your presidents through verse, poetry, and you're going to see things there that are going to spark your interest to dig a little deeper into some of these presidents. So you can pick that up at a bargain rate right now. And David, what else am I missing here?
We've got our blog on our website. We've got some great insight in the world of consulting, business management, history, campaigns, politics. So please check out our blog at j-washington.com. And of course, the Informer newsletter comes out once monthly. And again, it's more insight into all of our properties, all of our podcasts, insightful and intelligent articles on the world of politics and business. So please go to our LinkedIn page, J-Washington, or to our website, J-Washington, and subscribe to our newsletter, The Informer.